Hey guys, it's Striking Up with Striker, and today we are going to cover 4 different reasons as to why it's called the law of attraction, not the theory of attraction. We are also going to cover a practice that you can use to help create a better future today. You guys ready? Number 1. All right, guys, I'm going to share a famous quote with you guys by Albert Einstein himself. He states that everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Match that frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but to get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. So let's break this quote down a little bit. We know that Albert Einstein created the equation E equals mc squared. But what does that mean? That means that if we were to take anything that appears solid to us and look at it under a powerful enough microscope, we would actually see that it is just energy, that it is atoms vibrating so quickly that they are releasing this frequency. And we know that like frequencies attract like frequencies. Einstein proved it himself. Reason number 2. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of mirror neurons. This is actually proof that our frequency that we are giving off is picked up by other people. Did any of you guys yawn? Because I know I always yawn when I see somebody else yawning. Another simple way to demonstrate the power of mirror neurons is we know that if we walk into the room with a smile, we actually bring that energy in and other people will smile. This has been proven time and time again. If we focus on one energy, we will attract that energy over and over and over again. The best example I can give is actually as a kid during my farm days. We used to try and clip our horses here, right here in between their ears, their little mane, so that way the bridle wouldn't rub up against it. But when we were doing this, the noise of the clippers being so close to the horse's ears would sometimes frighten them. So to distract them from the fear that they were experiencing, we would actually distract them with the pain of pinching their nose with a tool called a twitch, and we would keep it on there. And the horse would be so distracted by the pain in its nose, it would actually completely forget about the fear it was experiencing from the clippers. Reason number 3. We know that neurologists have actually proven that visualization creates a better future. Dr. Basadio conducted a study with 90 college basketball students. He split those 90 students up into 3 different groups of 30. The first group he instructed to practice free throws every single day. The second group, he instructed them to just visualize themselves making baskets from the free throw lines. And the third group, he instructed them to do absolutely nothing. And as you can expect, the third group made no improvement whatsoever. The first group, the ones that practiced every single day, improved by about 24%. But the amazing results were the group that just sat there and visualized without picking up a basketball at all actually improved by 23%. This proves that our subconscious can't actually tell the difference between what is imaginary and what is reality. Think about it. When you were a kid and you were convinced there were monsters underneath your bed, you could hear them, you could see them, you could feel them tickling your feet, right? Your conscious mind was telling your subconscious mind, there's monsters, and your subconscious mind had to prove it. So it would make up all these phenomenons and create all these sounds to make you believe it more and more and more. But were there really monsters underneath the bed? Maybe the demons, as people say, but that's about it. And last but not least, reason number 4, neurologists actually support the use of positive affirmations. But why would they do that on a whim? They wouldn't. They do it because of Hebb's law. Hebb's law states that neurons that fire together wire together. We know that the neuroplasticity in our brain has actually been built by past experiences, but it can change based on new input. And this has nothing to do with age. If you guys have ever heard the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, toss it right out the window. That is not true, and we have proven it through Hebb's law. So what can we do to start using these practices in our everyday life to create a better future? Okay. Well, remember that Hebb's law states we can build neuroplasticity, new neuroplasticity, anytime we want. All we have to do is train our subconscious mind. We have approximately 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 95% of these comes from our subconscious, something we cannot control, but we can train it with new neuroplasticity. How do we do this? We practice meditation, we practice repetitive thoughts, those positive affirmations where you're talking to yourself in the mirror saying, "Ooh, I'm so great," and through hypnotherapy. Now, before you guys run away at the word hypno, I want you guys to understand this isn't someone sitting in a chair with something dangling in front of their face for comedy reasons, okay? This is you taking the time to train your subconscious to believe what you want it to believe. My personal favorite technique of meditation, hypnotherapy, and visualization is actually all 3 of them. Who would have guessed? What I do is I sit in a quiet spot, I turn my phone on airplane mode so I cannot be disturbed, and I play some binaural beats. If you guys haven't heard of these before, I definitely suggest looking into them. There are free YouTube videos on them. I mean, they're all over the internet. Do some research on them. They are amazing. So I put on my binaural beats and I sit in a quiet area and I begin to just visualize. I visualize my future having everything that I want. I visualize my dream home. I visualize waking up next to Boo with a big old smile on his face. I see myself in that dream car. I see myself with that dream bank account. And not only that, I make sure I picture who I am when I have all these things. In fact, this is probably the most important step to your visualization. You want to see yourself smiling. You want to see yourself being that patient person with your partner. You want to see yourself giving all your wealth because you have infinite amounts of it. You can finally help whoever you want to help because you're not stressed or worried about making your next bill. Picture yourself. Who would you be if you had everything you wanted? And your subconscious mind will give you the answers to get you there. Because remember, just like when we were scared of the monsters underneath our bed and we would actually feel them tickling us and we could hear them creeping, crawling on the floor, we're using that same technique, but in a positive light. We should have that same smile on our face. We should have that same warmth in our heart that we would have when we have everything we desire. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I'd love to hear from y'all. Otherwise, have a blessed day. I can't wait for our next video.